And welcome back to the Ask the Doc Life Lessons podcast. I'm Dr. V, and today we're going to delve into a topic that I really enjoy, and that is conquering the fear of failure. Each and every one of us deals with failures throughout our lives. The key is overcoming those failures, learning from them, so that we can grow and be successful. Let's start with what is failure. Failure is often defined as the inability to meet an intended goal or objective. But it's more than that. It's not just a missed target or a setback. In life, failure can be seen as a moment of feedback if you look at it correctly, a signpost that tells us something needs to change in our lives. It's the gap between our expectations and our reality. Instead, it also should be looked at as an invitation to learn, adjust, and grow. When we shift our perspective and see failure as part of our journey rather than a final judgment, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. What are some of the causes of failure? Understanding the root cause of failure is key to overcoming it. What are some of the common causes? Fear and self-doubt to begin with. Sometimes the fear of not succeeding stops us before we even begin. Perfectionism. Setting unrealistically high standards can paralyze our progress. Lack of planning. Without clear, realistic goals and strategy, even the best intentions will falter. External circumstances. Life throws us curveballs continually. Economic downturns, unexpected personal issues, or other external pressures also contribute to failure. And finally, negative self-talk. When our inner critic dominates our mind, it prevents us from taking the necessary risks for growth. By identifying these causes, we're better equipped to challenge them head on. Now, why is the topic of conquering failure important? The fear of failure is more than just an emotional hurdle. It can affect every aspect of our lives. It limits our potential. It keeps us from trying new things and completely stifles our creativity. When we let this fear dictate our choices, we miss out on opportunities for personal and professional growth. Embracing the lessons failure offers us allows us to build resilience, develop a growth mindset, and ultimately live a much more fulfilling life. Let's chat a minute about famous people who have failed, because failure isn't reserved for only the inexperienced. Some of the world's most successful people have faced tremendous setbacks before rising to the top. Let's consider these examples. You may have heard this. Thomas Edison, he famously said, "I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that don't work," before finally inventing the light bulb. Walt Disney, he was fired from his newspaper job early on in his career and then built one of the most iconic entertainment empires in history. J.K. Rowling, the author, before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Rowling faced rejection from multiple publishers and many personal hardships. Michael Jordan, often cut from his high school basketball team, Jordan used that setback to fuel himself to become one of the greatest athletes of all time. And then finally, Oprah Winfrey, overcoming a challenging childhood and multiple career setbacks, Oprah transformed herself into a media mogul and a source of inspiration for millions. These individuals show us that failure is not an end, but rather a stepping stone toward greatness. Now, let's get right into the 10 steps to conquer failure. First, you must redefine failure. View failure not as a dead end, but as valuable feedback. Each setback teaches you what doesn't work, guiding you towards what actually does. 2, set realistic goals that are attainable, they're measurable. Break down your dreams into manageable, achievable steps. Small victories will build confidence and will also build momentum. Number 3, adopt a growth mindset. Embrace challenges as opportunities to learn rather than obstacles to avoid. Understand that your abilities can develop with effort and persistence. 4, plan and prepare. Create a clear, actionable plan with defined milestones to conquer failure. Preparation reduces uncertainty and boosts your confidence dramatically. 5, Embrace risk-taking. Understand that calculated risks that are prudent are necessary for growth. Step outside your comfort zone to gradually build resilience. 6, learn from criticism. Don't internalize it. Rather than using negative feedback, use it as a constructive input. This can highlight areas of improvement that you might have otherwise overlooked. I got criticized a lot in my early part of my career, but my mentor kept me on track and helped me tremendously. 7, develop resilience. Build habits that strengthen your emotional resilience. Regular exercise, mindfulness practices, or even journaling will help you bounce back even stronger. Number 8, surround yourself with positive people. I cannot impress upon you the importance of this. Get rid of toxic people. Seek out mentors, supportive friends, and communities that encourage growth and learning. Their encouragement will be a powerful counter to self-doubt. 9, celebrate small wins. Acknowledge and reward yourself for progress, no matter how small. This creates a positive feedback loop that motivates you to keep going. And finally, number 10, keep moving forward. Even when faced with setbacks, maintain forward momentum. Persistence is often the key difference between temporary failure and lasting success. Okay, now that we covered the steps, let's talk about additional resources. If you're looking for further guidance on conquering the fear of failure, here's some things to check out. First, there are great books out there about conquering failure. One is called Mindset, The New Psychology of Success by Carol Dweck. There's another one called Failing Forward, Turning Mistakes into Stepping Stones for Success by John Maxwell. Then there's podcasts like this one, the Ask the Doc podcast, and also talks like TED Talks on resilience and growth. And of course, as I mentioned a minute ago, this podcast on conquering fear. There's also interviews with successful entrepreneurs who will discuss their failures. That works really well. Interview successful people. Ask them how they overcame failure. There's websites like online communities at Reddit called Get Motivated. There's blogs dedicated to personal development and self-improvement. These resources will offer deeper insights and practical advice to supplement your journey towards overcoming failure. Okay, now, with that being said, let's close it. So in closing, failure is not something to be feared, but it's something to be embraced as a natural and valuable part of life's journey. By redefining failure, understanding its causes, and implementing actionable steps, you empower yourself to learn, adapt, and eventually succeed. Remember, even the most celebrated figures have faced failure head-on and emerged stronger for it. Their stories remind us that each setback is merely a setback for a comeback. So thank you for joining me on this episode of Ask the Doc Life Lessons. I hope today's discussion inspires you to take bold steps forward, even when the path isn't perfectly clear. Stay curious, keep pushing your limits, and never let the fear of failure stop you from pursuing your dreams. This is Dr. V, signing off. Take care.